Hello! I made some art. The title of this video is deceptive. It's not a how-to. This is the vlog, so if you want to hear more, stay tuned. Anyways, this was number 3 out of 3 scrap wood projects. Obviously, if you've watched the other 2 now, you've heard me say that at the end of them, and at the end of this, I'll scooch to the side and point to the sides, and you can check out the other videos if you're starting here. But let's talk about this. So, if you already watched the coasters video, you'll notice a section in there when I'm essentially cutting this off and taking it on the table saw and making the sides, relatively even. I had no intention of actually making this. Do you see what I see? If I hold it like this, it kind of looks like part of a cityscape. So I'm going to put this on the corner of my desk and have a piece of art. I didn't actually expect these to stick together. As I was gluing up the cutting board, not the cutting boards, gluing up the coasters, I only glued up to about here. So there must be just enough glue above this line on most of these for it to stay together, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you look at it on the bottom, you can see here was the shortest piece. That's why there is no piece there. Whatever. Fun. Interesting. I've never made a piece of wood art before. I've seen a lot of really cool things with ends of scraps, and I always thought I would make some sort of like chevron wall art kind of thing. I guess that'll come in the future. But when I was younger, not too much younger, say 2015 when I started this channel, I thought it would be so cool to have enough hardwood scraps on hand, because that would have meant that I would have done enough good-looking projects to merit all of this scrap. So I'm at that point now, and that makes me feel very good. Let's take a look at some of these again. This mallet. I love this. This is another one of those projects like, oh, I really should just make it. And I've been saying that for, 4 years, and now here I am. I've seen so many good mallet videos. Steve Ramsey put the one out like 6 or 7 years ago. It's kind of the staple. Jay Bates did batched a bunch of these out 2 years ago, and they looked really good. And somebody else just did a mallet video. He made, I think, 5 or 6 of them. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, and I was doing this while that came out. I thought, how very, very timely. Let me take it apart. As I look at all of this wood, well, first off, can you see what I did here? I didn't wax or coat that one part in the middle that goes on the inside of this, just because I didn't want it to be slightly thicker. But I don't know if that would have really mattered, because there's wax on there too, so it slides well, whatever. Anyways, these projects, so this is a piece of oak in the middle. I imagine this was probably scrap from when we made the mission style key rack and sconce. The Purple Heart is very old. This predates my YouTube page, probably 2013, when I ended up making some Christmas projects. But I did use some of the leftovers from some failed projects, and I made a really cool end grain cutting board. That's one of my earliest videos. That's also where this Padauk at the end comes from. I've just been holding on to the tiniest bits of scraps for years. The maple, so top of the mallet, we've got walnut on the outside, oak, and then maple here on the inside. The maple, let's see. Oh yeah, this is some of the, no, this is not some of the super maple. Oh, I know what this is from. Last year, January of 2017, no, it must have been December of 2016, I ended up making, well, it's not down here. I made a tea box for my wife. It was a kind of a shady project, not shady, shitty, really. It turned out kind of bad. I made the scraps too thin, and it ended up warping over time, and I just wasn't pleased with that. So that's why I made the other tea box this year, and it looks lovely. Works so much better too. But anyways, that's what this maple scrap was from. And the oak, who knows what this particular one was. It's got a different coloration than this, so I don't think it's the same piece of wood. And the walnut, let's see. Oh yeah, this particular piece of scrap was the from the snowflake video when I had that, like the end of the board that I had cut at the 30-degree angles and put those little like fingers in the top and the side that I was sliding each of the diamonds through the table saw. Remember that section of the video? Anyways, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I milled it up and I thought it turned out well. I really like that face. This is a 5-degree angle here, and then I thought on the ends I cut those to about 45 degrees relative to the edge, just for some decorative touch. That's it. You can actually see right here, do you see that hole in the bottom corner? That is from where one of the fingers was jetting out on that piece of walnut to hold the blank that was going through the table saw down. So I don't know, it's one of those neat touches. It's like when you find wormholes in a piece of wood. I think they're cool, so I try to keep them in there. It makes it real. These are really sweet. I put a picture of this to my Instagram right after, no, not right after I was done with it, as I was making it, just before I had cut the loaf, let's call it. And right away somebody said, hey, this looks like so-and-so, and of course I've immediately forgotten his name. But there's other people out there that have made these similar things before, of course. And this one particular guy, he had some awesome things on his Instagram page. I will probably remember, and I'll put a link in the comment section below so you can see what I'm thinking of right now, but that I can't articulate. I ended up having 14 of these that I cut. They're about 8 millimeters thick. I made 3 sets of 4. One is going to a coworker as a late Christmas gift exchange. Apparently that's what my office does. Our office party is the second weekend of January, and we just drew a name out of a hat. So it's very, not personal, but I thought I would still make a personal gift instead of just, buy some piece of junk. The other 2 sets are going to go and be parts of silent auctions for a fundraiser that my Rotary Club is doing and a fundraiser for the school board coming up this year. That's pretty fun. And I still have tons of scraps left. Like that giant box that I dumped out at the beginning of the other 2 videos is still half full with like weird cutoffs, stuff that's super thin or like really long and really narrow, as opposed to the blanks almost essentially that I use to glue up to make the cutting boards, the coasters. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm imagining I will get more use out of them doing something like this, just an outer layer for effect. I don't know. We'll see. But hey, it's January and it's freezing cold here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's been about -10 or -15 for the last week and a half. That's exciting. I think we're going to have a heat wave later this week, and it might crawl up to 20 degrees, which would be sweet. I could actually take the dog for a walk more than 3 minutes when his patters decide to freeze. This is musical season. For those of you who have been here for the last couple years, Bridget's Musical is the second weekend in February. They're doing The Addams Family. It's quite hilarious. Looking forward to that. But as opposed to last year, I really don't have a lot to build this year. I'm probably going to maybe do one video, and I'm just building a torture device. You remember think back to the Middle Ages, and they put people on the rack. I think that's what it is. Like your arms and your legs are spread, and then like someone would crank a dial, and they'd pull your arms and legs. That's what I'm recreating in a kid-friendly sort of manner. You'll see that in a couple weeks. So she's doing that. The dog is good. I'm good. Grad school, my final semester starts on the 29th of this month. It's going to be great. I think May 11th is either graduation or it's the last day of semester. So the end is in sight. That's cool. And in a couple months, we can get back out in the garden again. This year, I'm intending to be out there in April, if not the end of March, depending on if we get a heat wave or not, building some structures. So, more on that to come. Workshop is good. I don't know. I'm good. I think that about does it. Tell me what you've been up to and stuff in the comments section here. Let me shift over to the side and point out to these 2 interesting videos. These are the other 2 of the 3 scrap wood projects that I've been talking about this entire vlog. You should check them out. And if you're new, you should subscribe, because that's cool. And I finally passed the 5,000 subscriber mark. So thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later.